We're fortunate to have a partner like March of Dimes that shares our values and is working to address issues like environmental justice that affect the abilities of all families to have a healthy start. Because the health of people and the planet have always been in our core values. Our commitment to a happy, healthy world starts with Mother Earth and motherhood.
We at The Honest Company have always been huge supporters of anything that could help moms and children. And so we are so thrilled to partner with March of Dimes for this incredible event. And happy Mama's Day. Every day is Mama's Day. Don't forget that.
All right, here we go. I told you I'd be back for some chair stretching. Now, let's be honest. The last couple of years, we've all probably spent more time sitting than we have in a long time. Especially the way that the work world works now. A lot of us are working from home and we find ourselves sitting all the time. However, even though we're sitting all the time, it's a great opportunity to work in regular stretching. And so I'm going to show you a few of the best stretches you can do if you find yourself sitting for extra long times and you're not getting a lot of stand up and walk around breaks. But let's start from the tip of our heads and we'll go all the way down to our legs. That's how I always like to sort of do this. It helps me remember what stretches I'm doing first. So we're going to start with our head, particularly our neck. We're going to start by just looking down, hold, look up, hold, look down, hold, look up, hold. Come back to the center. We're going to just lean the head to the left. Don't force it, just let it fall naturally. As if you were trying to bring your ear to your shoulder. Back to center, to the right side. You're going to feel a nice stretch on the outside of that neck. And then back to center. One more, left, back to center, and right. Nice work. All right. Now let's just roll the shoulders a bit. We're going to go backwards with this. Big circles are drawn with the shoulders. Now I know everyone's got different sized chairs and different heights of desks. I actually have a standing desk behind me, but I'll cycle between standing and sitting. Okay, now we're going to start with the forward roll. And you're going to find that you probably want to adjust your chair and your desk height to be ergonomically correct. I would recommend doing some research, going online and just seeing about how do you size yourself for a workstation. It's going to help the body be more functional, plus it's not going to feel as fatiguing when you have those long work sessions. It's amazing what happens when we're hunched over and we're in these awkward positions that aren't ergonomically correct for our body size. All right, so we just got the shoulders a little loosened. I like you to bring the arms out front. All you're going to do is open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. Just keep doing it. 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Now bring the hands outside. Same idea. Ooh, a little bit too close. I'm gonna lean a little bit. Just doing the same thing. You're gonna start to feel like your forearms are starting to feel a little bit pumped. And just because we're increasing the blood flow, we're also cycling some of that inflammation through our body, trying to just loosen things up. Well done. Now, if you're standing and taking a break, you could also put your hands behind you and do this. Let's bring the hands back down to our thighs. Nice comfortable position. We're gonna do some cat-cows, all right? We know these from yoga. So the cat and then the cow. The cow, we're gonna start by pushing everything out, cycling the back in. And then as you exhale, pulling it, try and envision yourself sucking your belly button into the spine. These stretches are really good for spinal health. We're gonna come back to center. We'll do one more. As you inhale, pull those shoulders back. If you like, you can look up to the sky or you can look down. It depends on what you're more comfortable with. I tend to just keep my head in a neutral position when I do this so I can just focus on the spine. And now we'll do the cat stretch. And I like to exhale as I'm doing that. Pulling that belly button in towards the spine and just sort of hold for a few seconds. Come back to that relaxed position. I'm going to show you one more right now. I know there's lots that you can do, and if you go on YouTube, chair yoga or chair stretches, you'll find a whole pile of them. And I always say, you know where you need it because that's where you typically feel it. Meaning that if you have certain areas in your body that gives you sort of pain, discomfort, or isn't feel like it's moving very well, that's usually the areas you better start on first. One area for me in particular are my hip flexors. And most of us that are sitting a lot have a shortening of these hip flexors, or what's called our psoas muscles. This like stretches from up here and it goes all the way down past our knee. But this muscle, if you do a lot of hiking, cycling, biking, swimming, these muscles get used a lot. And when we're sitting all the time, it shortens up a bit. So we find that this dysfunction carries over and starts to create other challenges for us, particularly maybe even with our knees tracking, lower back, or lumbar spine, especially our hips. So one of my favorites, the pigeon pose, right? We're all used to the pigeon pose from yoga. You're gonna take one leg up, just put the ankle or just slightly over the ankle, depends. I find sometimes if you're sensitive in the ankle joint, you wanna just move it so your ankle's just a little bit past. Sit upright, neutral position. Make sure the opposing leg, the opposite leg that's on the ground, is nice and flat. You don't wanna be slouching, okay? You wanna be flat and grounded. I like to put my hands here. And what we're gonna do is if you wanna add a little bit of spice, you can press down slightly as you lean forward. Otherwise, just let gravity do the work. Just gonna slowly lean forward. So as I'm feeling my upper body start to lean into this, that gravity and downward pressure, I can feel my joint opening up in my hip there. I also feel this in my glutes, all right? Your butt muscles on the outside. And if you're feeling it there, don't worry, it's working, all right? And you just sort of ease into that. And I like to hold this one. Sometimes I'll hold it for 2-3 minutes at a time. There's no really set time domain. I usually say do it for at least 5 to 6 good deep breaths, inhales and exhales. That's a good way to sort of count it. Sort of breathe into the stretch. This also causes a relaxation of our neurological loading in our body. Sometimes our minds are trying to protect our joints, so it locks us up. So when we actually inhale and exhale through this deep sort of repetitive pattern, it actually has this loosening and relaxation effect. So sometimes you'll find that actually the stress, the joint itself just releases. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's nice. Now I feel it. Anyways, lots of cool stuff you can do, all from a seated position. But the next best thing to doing your stretches from a seated position is just stand up. Set a timer on your watch or on your desktop computer to remind you to step up at least once every hour for at least 3 to 5 minutes and just give your body a nice shake, a good little stretch. Your body will feel so much better for it. Maybe even do a little meditation break. Other than that, thank you. Enjoy the rest of the program, and I'll see you for the nutrition tips shortly. Die out.